This is Nelson in the Morning on Bluffs Country 1065.
Morgan Wallen, about the only thing not happening at the Iowa State Fair, as the fair has ramped itself up. Running starting yesterday all the way through the 17th. Iowa State Fair. All the way through Saturday, next Saturday. Crazy. One of the fairs that I haven't had an opportunity to go to, and I've always meant to because I've got buddies out in Des Moines, and you know, now if you're like me, if you've been sitting around going, yeah, we should go to the state fair. We should go to the Iowa State Fair. It's the biggest fair in the country. Now I'll give you a reason to. How about Thomas Rhett? How about Brett Young? We're live, by the way, facebook.com/Bluffs Country on the Performance Digital Cam, so you can kind of get in and see everything that happens here. Plus, if you need any extra details on your state fair tickets, I can help you out with that. But here's what needs to happen. If you want free tickets to Brett Young, which is Monday night, or Thomas Rhett, which is Tuesday night, take a little extended weekend. If you want those passes, then you got to join us today. I am going to be out in Bayless Park here in Council Bluffs. And I'm going to have the truck, I'll have the tent, you'll see the whole thing. It's not like, it's not a hide and go seek thing. It's a go and go seek thing. And the seeking will be done at Bayless Park. And conveniently, we're doing it after work. You know what I mean? So you get a chance to take a breath for a second, have a soda, have whatever you want to do. A little iced coffee. And when you got a latte in your life, then you swing on out to Bayless Park. You'll find us there, and that is where you're going to find tickets, a big pile of them. There's a pile of tickets to get you into Brett Young or Thomas Rhett. We'll get you in. But it's first come, first serve. You know, as you get there and you battle the rest of the other people. It's not going to battle. It's just a little bit of plate mail and some blunted weapons, right? We'll just do it old school like you're a knight of the... And that's not what's going to happen. Just come out to Bayless Park at 5:30 and we'll have an opportunity for you. If you're not familiar with the Iowa State Fair, listen, this is the place when you see fair food go viral. It's from here. 84 new foods, 47 new drinks. 3 of those new foods have been chosen for as the best people's choice. So the people have spoken. A bacon cheeseburger egg roll. I think I just gained 4 pounds. Barbecue, I was smoked roll. What you smoking? That's what they call that one. And Destination Grill's lobster corn dog. They have it all at the Iowa State Fair. You can vote on that one, too. They want to know which one you think is better. The bacon cheeseburger roll, the what you smoking, Iowa smoked. There's a lot of apostrophes in that one. That one's a more of a visual word. It's open all day long. No, you're not allowed to carry guns, by the way. And the butter cow. It's a gigantic cow made of butter. The butter cow's a tradition at the state fair. It goes back like 100 years. That's wild. 600 pounds of butter. Somebody give me a hot piece of corn. 5:30, Bayless Park. If you want your tickets to Brett Young, you want your tickets to Thomas Rhett, you want to go to the Iowa State Fair for nothing? I mean, you got to foot the bill for the gas. Sorry. We'll get you in this afternoon. Bayless Park with Bluffs Country 1065.
Bluffs Country 1065, where we make the workday fly by one great song at a time. Hi, this is Chuck Denver, and I hope you'll join me from 10 a.m. to...
How about I haven't seen any of these comments because this thing doesn't refresh right. Someone pour me out a double shot of whiskey. I know me and Jack Daniels got a history. Some drink some. Whiskey. Right? Right. A Papa Ooh Mau Mau. A Papa Ooh Mau Mau. Mm-hmm. Because last night we let the liquor talk. Mm-hmm. And why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? It's got a voice of its own. The liquor. It is hot in the studio, and hot enough that I wonder if I open. Should I open the window? Can you open these windows? Open? That's weird. A radio station with an open window. Oh, just so warm. Warm. Oh, bad. Right. Of course, I don't have that plugged in. Morning, Marsha. First day of school was good, Carrie. Happy Friday. Yay. Hey, Bradley. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. I had a good time with them. Oh, my gosh. Like, I'm not sick anymore, but it's like now it's all like breaking up. And you would have thought that clear out process would have happened the other day. It didn't, though, because, because I'm just lucky like that. GMP3. John Michael Montgomery. I love the way that you love me. How about that? What are our big plans for the weekend? And my big plans are tonight I'm going to give away tickets. Get a boom boom stick. Yeah, Bradley, I can show you one here on the cam, but you can find all the pictures up on That's Just Nelson on both Facebook or Instagram. Daddy Cake's a success, though. What? That guy really hates Jubal. It's a sideways version. There's the 2 and the 5. 2 and the 5. And there's the kids with cakes. Daddy Cakes. Last night we let the leader know. Oh my. Who's got a first day today? There are some schools that are today. Millard schools. Oh, the high school must be today. Even the junior high, I think, in Millard is a today thing. Bellevue's got a second day today. Looks like everyone else is kind of starting up next week. Anybody else? No. West Side started yesterday. Ralston starts next week. All Accounts of Love starts 2 weeks from now. Millard yesterday. Bellevue did a slow rollout. Bellevue yesterday and today. So that'll be that the high school goes back today. Way to stay positive all the time. Seward County Fair, the great Seward County Fair Council, the Great Divide. Curtis Grimes, Jordan. Scooch. Scotch. Mark, I should know how to say that name. I don't know. Mark, have you commented before? I don't know that I've ever seen Mark comment before. And if that's the case, yeah, Mark. Yeah, Mark. I gotta relay that out better. I don't know if I'm positive all the time, but I'll take that. Fake it till you all make it, man. Well, don't do that though. Like, why you gotta download that way? Don't download that way. Download another way. Download a more favorable way to me. 080924. I'll do that. Ow. What do you say? Ooh mau mau, Papa ooh mau mau mau. He's a local boy. Yes, I even commented on the shirt. Thank you, Mark. Then maybe that's why I recognize you. Okay, then I feel better about not knowing his name yet. The Great Divide, I knew how to say that. Was it this shirt? Did you say it earlier, or was this the other day? It helps with breathing through the nose. All right. Good morning, Deborah. So silly. You're so silly, Deborah. Deborah. Get out of here, girl. Show silliness. Dancing in the morning. Of course, because why would you be of any kind of volume that a guy can actually use? All right. Hear this so I can make sure it's right.
Taylor Swift Eras Tour shows in Vienna, Austria have been canceled after.
Yeah, he did.
Taylor Swift Eras Tour shows in Vienna, Austria have been canceled after authorities say they thwarted an ISIS-inspired terror plot.
There you go. That's the, as they say, sound bite.
Taylor Swift.
Welcome back this morning on Your Health, a guide to help you sort through sugar and sugar alternatives. There are so many options out there these days to
Delete this. I don't want this. Okay, come on. There you go. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the beautiful weather? I loved the fact that it was like 58 degrees when I walked outside. Like I wanted to open a window back here because it's warm in the studio. Yeah, you can. I'll take that all day. You gotta be quicker than that. You gotta be quicker than that. Yeah, I did. I showed him the cakes there real quick, Deborah. But yeah, they are on both my Facebook page and my YouTube. Not my YouTube. Not my YouTube. What is this here?
Make delicious recipes that are lighter in calories and added sugar. When you use Splenda, no calorie sweetener.
58 degrees, yeah. So power washing my carport. What was good? Okay. Well, here we go. Will you drink some? Somebody got a double shot of whiskey. You know, when Jack Daniel got a history. You knowing? Oh, come on, ma. Come on, ma. Chop, chop, chop. Where's the 7 a.m. waiter? Traffic reports on Bluffs. Time for your top two. Your top two stories to get you into the day, to let you know that, hey, I know something. This is something that will make you look good in front of your coworkers. And that's why we do this every morning. Twice a day, we'll get you a couple of stories that are going to make you look good at the water cooler. A terror plot has been thwarted for America's biggest star.
Taylor Swift Eras Tour shows in Vienna, Austria have been canceled after authorities say they thwarted an ISIS-inspired terror plot.
The prime suspect in a plot to attack Taylor Swift's upcoming Eras Tour in Vienna confessed that he planned to do so and then to kill himself. A large number of other people were also to be taken down in an attack with knives and explosives, officials in Austria said on Thursday. A 19-year-old guy. I mean, you can ask why 1,000 times, but it's an ISIS-linked plot. You can't try. As hard as you try, you're never going to understand hate. Hate is not quantifiable. It's not, you can't chop it up and put it into a petri dish and then grow more hate and figure out why. But among the things they found on his possession and in his home, he had downloaded manuals for bomb building, a picture of Austria's Directorate of State and Security Intelligence had said recently. They also found hydrogen peroxide, homemade explosives, detonators, detonator cables, and a litany of knives. The situation was serious. They so much so that they canceled Taylor Swift's leg of the tour through here. So serious a situation, but Interior Minister Gerard Carner also said in a news conference that a tragedy was prevented. Police also found videos and screenshots of home laboratories, which are often shared by ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and on the suspect's cell phones. A third suspect actually was just picked up recently, and a 15-year-old Austrian national with Turkish roots currently being questioned by authorities. So no idea how deep this plot goes. It's obviously more than a one-man operation, but it doesn't take much to radicalize someone, and one person with a nasty agenda can do a lot of damage. This story here, it's like, which one are you going to pick? You're danged if you do, and you're danged if you don't.
Make delicious recipes that are lighter in calories and added sugar. When you use Splenda no-calorie sweetener.
A new study, although a narrow one, has said that common low-calorie sweetener, not specifically Splenda, but a common low-calorie sweetener that is used in a lot of products, may be riskier for the heart than sugar itself. It is called, you might have heard this, sugar alcohol. Billed as being a low-calorie sugar substitute in keto-friendly foods, because the idea is that it doesn't raise your sugars. So it's not holding on to simple carbohydrates. The sugar alcohol, erythritol and xylitol are sugar alcohols that are added to things like stevia and other low-calorie sweets, which will then boost the sugar, the flavor, essentially. It's kind of like when you go and open up a can of anything else low calorie, like say sparkling water. I don't know if you do a lot of sparkling water, but the way that they make those flavors is with other things. They trick your body. Like in sparkling waters, oftentimes if it's got a real strong flavor, but it's still sparkling water, it's sodium. Look at the sodium on the back of that thing because salt is a flavor enhancer. Now, what they did in this study was both groups fasted overnight because you got to do that before you get, if you've never had a sugar test, that's what happens. Your blood was drawn to measure platelet activity, and then they drank water, and then obviously it goes down. Some people on nothing, some people on sugar, some people on the sugar alcohols. About 30 minutes after each group consumed their drinks and were retested, people who consumed the erythritol had increased platelet aggregation, which means their blood was more likely to clot. And that's where they think that the increase for heart disease goes up. Researchers measured a 1,000-fold increase in blood erythritol levels in the group given the drink with that literal sugar in it. Those who had water didn't have any changes in their levels at all. In the next 10 minutes, artificial sweetener was good for you. Now it's bad for you. This is another very interesting list of things that we used to say, oh, yeah, go for it. We could do this all day long because it's healthy for us.
Your local hometown country music station, Bluffs Country 106.5. Traffic.
Well, lucky for us, things are moving along nicely, especially with a sunshine morning. No, don't stop on the side of the road. Take a picture of the sunrise. It's not a pink lady one. You know what I mean? That's a type of apple, by the way, a pink lady. I'm not just talking about random women of different shades. Regular road construction we're battling, but otherwise things appear to be smooth sailing across the metro. This traffic report brought to you by Pizza Ranch, home of the legendary buffet featuring pizza and the country's best chicken. When you stop in, you'll find out very quickly why Pizza Ranch is everyone's favorite buffet. And man, could you ask for a better day when it comes to your Bluffs Country weather? God, I don't think so. You'd be greedy if you did. High of 75 today, 78 tomorrow, mid 70s into the early part of next week. Also, the beautiful thing about today's weather is, heyo, there's no rain in the forecast. And we'll ease into those 70s anyway. Lows in the 50s the next couple of days. And by 5:30 today, when you're heading out to Bayless Park to win those free Thomas Rhett tickets, those free Brett Young tickets, we're going to be already cruising down into like 72. Perfect. Currently 55 degrees. Let's look at your weather brought to you by the 712 Initiative. Inviting you, like they did yesterday, every Thursday to the Bluffs Farmers Market in Bayless Park. It's presented by CHI Health Mercy, Council Bluffs, and it happens every Thursday from 4:30 until 7:30. How about that?
Fun takes flight at Blackbird Bend Casino. Hundreds of the latest and hottest slots. In-person sports wagering at our sportsbook. Great dining and...
Hold on, Deborah. Sorry. I would just make a great rich person. Deb. Maybe the guy was off his meds. I don't know. Going back to frying chicken and taters. Chicken and taters. Mm. Son of a gun. What's everybody's weekend plans looking like? Pop, pop. Let it hurt on with you. Radioactive, radioactive. Nothing planned, huh, Carrie? I got so busy yesterday after I took the kids to school, I didn't get a chance. I needed. Travis is going to bring me his metal detector because I was helping my boss and coworker, my friend. She had a fence down in her yard, and I dropped my freaking ring. In her yard. So that's good. I'm headed straight home to you. Straight home to you. This is all like. I'm so hungry right now. Oh, I'm so hungry. I do not have any money to DoorDash or anything. Times are tight. Tight time on a tight day. Tight. Super tight. Listen. Super tight. Tighter than a tight time on a tight day. Ooh, 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 ooh. Home for you. Boo, 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 boo. Hmm. I get minor friendship. What are my plans? My plans are going to be to go to Bayless Park at 5:30 today and give out stuff for give out Thomas Red tickets, and then I've got a bunch of check my calendar. There's like a bunch of work stuff I got to get done today. worries, Travis. No worries, traveler. Oh, biscuits and gravy with bacon sounds so good. That sounds so good. Oh my gosh. Second. Just a second on that one. Could be this cooler weather giving me the appetite. Oh, yeah. Good morning, Tamika. Happy Friday. How are you today? Big plans for the weekend? Ooh, 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 ooh. Headed right home with you. I'm hungry. Now you said biscuits and gravy. That sounds really good.
This is Nelson in the Morning on Bluffs Country 1065.
Good morning. We are broadcasting live, facebook.com/Bluffs Country. Performance digital cams, what they call that. I'm they in this situation. Driven by excellence, take your business into the digital age very simply with the help of Performance Digital, performancedigital.com. Earlier, we were discussing the fact that there's a new study that reports that a type of sugar alcohol that is used in many low-calorie sweeteners is now being linked to increases in heart risks. It got me thinking, back in the day, there was some wild stuff that people used to be like, oh, yeah, just do this. And so I could kind of compiled a little bit of a list, and there are two on here, two of them that I don't even think you've ever heard of. But two of them will be so shocking to you, especially when you view it through the lens of 2024. You're not going to believe it. How about this? We'll start easy. We'll dip our toe in. People used to think that LSD therapy was the way to go. Now, I have heard that there have been a lot of studies recently about using psilocybin. That'd be mushrooms. LSD, of course, is acid. And that's a chemical that was designed on Haight-Ashbury out in San Francisco. During the 50s and early 60s, studies in LSD stated it could be used to cure alcoholism, criminal behavior, and schizophrenia. While most people no longer see it as something healthy, Norwegian researchers want to continue the studies to treat alcoholism. The thing about the psilocybin research is they say that low doses of psilocybin, which is the active ingredient in the magical mushrooms, has been shown to be just as effective as a low dose of an antidepressant and last longer. So I'm sure in 20 years, people are going to be saying, you remember when we used to think mushrooms were healthy? How about shark cartilage? Will you do anything to feel better? Shark cartilage was marketed as a supplement, and supporters could be effective against treating cancer in the 1950s. They said, yeah, shark cartilage, because sharks never get cancer. That's a lie. There's no research to support that. In fact, sharks not getting cancer is completely wrong. There have been 42 cases on record of sharks with tumors. But that's the whole ad. Sharks don't get cancer. These things people used to think were healthy, and then we found out maybe not. Heroin cough syrup. All of the like major street drugs that we have, save for marijuana, were all medicine or additives first. Heroin cough syrup was developed by Bayer. They're the guys who make aspirin. Back in 1898, they discontinued. They stopped it though. They only made heroin for 12 years. When the addictive properties of the drug were determined to be higher than that were originally thought. So get that. Let marinate on that though. Bayer says, you know what? This is addictive, but it's not that addictive. And then they had the wherewithal to go, this is very addictive. Let's stop selling it. Where were the Sacklers on that one? Guaranteed, if this is the Sackler family, everybody's doing heroin in 1910. You know what I mean? That is the basis of the opioid epidemic. Cocaine right on the back of that. People used to think it was healthy. Heck, it used to be in Coca-Cola. It was in medicines. It was drugs. It's euphoric. It's energizing. It's pain relieving. It's the perfect product. Oh, it also will destroy your heart. Long before the cartels and crack wars and TV shows about addiction, it was the soda wars. It was like Pepsi versus Coke, although Pepsi was not a company then. These last two, when you hear these last two, honorable mention, cigarettes. In the 15th century, the use of tobacco was observed by indigenous people, and because it gave them a little bit of a bump, a little bit of energy, and it calmed them down, they thought cigarettes were healthy. Now, I think we've known for a long time that they weren't healthy, but they were just being mismarketed to us. But these last two, which we will get to in the next 7 minutes, one of them was done to a president's sister. And the other one, unfathomable. Had to be the Russians that came up with that one. We'll get to that next.
Edward Chevrolet.
A ketamine treatment for PTSD. Ketamine is supposed to be really good for that. Took a drug test yesterday. I hope I passed. Was it a test identifying different drugs? That's marijuana. I know what you mean. Oh, no. Oh, oh. That's awesome. Oh, I can't wait to read this. Wait till you hear the title of the Wall Street Journal headline. That's crazy. Crazy. Did I say two? I meant to say there were three stories. I misspoke. There are three of them that are going to blow your freaking mind, dude. Just wait till you hear this. I'll give you some little alternative ones I didn't get on the radio. Tapeworms. People used to think tapeworms were healthy. Ads in the 50s had people infecting themselves with tapeworms so that they could lose weight. The idea was that a tapeworm was a parasite. It feeds off the food that you eat. This means your calories would be split between you and the tapeworm, which is not how any of this works. It's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. The problem is that having tapeworms can result in abdominal pain, weakness, headaches, nausea, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, and vitamin deficiencies. Also, sometimes tapeworms do not remain in your stomach. They can go to your brain. So that's good. That's good. That sounds good to me to do. Block you from my Facebook wall. I love this commercial. Have you seen this commercial?
Instead of mailing everyone my vacation photos, I'm saving a ton of time by posting them to my wall. I like that one.
It's so quick. It's just like my car insurance. I save 15% in just 15 minutes.
I saved more than that in half the time.
Nap the
That's
time.
not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
I save 15% of the money in nap the time. I love her voice. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. I started saving a ton of money by posting them to my wall. Just post them to your wall, baby. I have a medical marijuana card, but I can't do marijuana. Really? That sucks. I'm sad because I can't go to Boosie Badass. I'm going to be selling food, but I really want him to go. Just saying, you need to be selling food outside of concerts. I don't know what the vendor licenses are on stuff like that, but California, you did not walk out of a concert without at least 18 dudes, each with their own little mini grill, slanging hot dogs right outside the venue. They were printing money. I think whatever makes the government money, they're all up for it till stuff starts hitting the fan. Did you know marijuana is the only of the heavy drugs, the only Schedule 1 narcotic? Schedule 1 drugs. Schedule 1 narcotics are the definition of a Schedule 1 drug is that there is no discernible, no accepted medical use. I guess I misspoke. I thought heroin was a Schedule 2. Cocaine is a Schedule 2. Funny that OxyContin is a Schedule 2, but heroin is a Schedule 1. And it's all based on the same stuff. Schedule 1 drugs. Substances or chemicals as defined as drugs with no currently acceptable medical use and a high potential for abuse. Heroin, LSD, marijuana, not meth. That's wrap your head around that. Not meth. Ecstasy, which is a methamphetamine. Oh, and peyote. A lot of psychedelics. Because ecstasy has an extreme psychedelic property. Schedule 2 drugs or chemicals are defined as drugs with a high potential for abuse with potentially leading to severe psychological and physical dependence, and that includes hydrocodone, cocaine, methamphetamine, methadone, hydromorphone, that's Dilaudid. Hydrocodone is Vicodin, hydromorphone is Dilaudid, and Paradine is Demerol. Oxycodone is OxyContin, fentanyl, Dexedrine, Adderall, and Ritalin. I love that Adderall, though. Couldn't survive without my Adderall. I wish we could have done that. We're going to the club. We have a spot to sell food at. I know. Well, just for in the future, just all concerts, not just Boosie. Y'all need to be outside them concerts, man. If you already got the equipment to do it, get out there. Schedule 3 drugs are substances or chemicals that are defined as a drug with moderate to low potential for physical and psychological dependence. And that is codeine, ketamine, anabolic steroids, testosterone. Testosterone. That's why I did that. That's why I did that. Jenny. Julia. It's not good. It's not a good noise.
Leading edge of Vermont as the remnants kind of takes off into southern Canada.
Fox Weather's Kiana Lewis. The highest tornado risk today is in New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania. Stock futures slightly higher ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street. America's listening to Fox News.
Another reminder that we're just 5 minutes away from 3 things, let me tell you, that people used to think were healthy. And when you hear what they did to a president's sister, you're going to lose your mind. Less than 100 years ago, this was a practice. But first, a look at your Bluffs Country News. Thanks to Miss Carla James, and thanks to the Jenny Edmondson Foundation, as they are the ones who are able to make it happen for us. If you attended, sponsored, or volunteered at that Spirit of Courage Celebrity Weekend they had last weekend, including the golf tournament and gala, they want to say thank you. Together, we support vulnerable cancer patients in our area who need support with treatments, medications, and more. And your support brings healthcare to this community. JEHfoundation.org for more details. Carla?
For Bluffs Country News, I'm Carla.
See how we retconned that? I said 2 before, and now I said 3. That's a little inside baseball. Nelson, I did a piece of a gummy, small piece. I stopped by the grocery store, spent so much money on junk, ate most of it, and then went straight to bed. Yeah, I'm jealous of people who can eat like a tiny little piece of gummy, because you put a gummy in me, one gummy, you're wasting your gummy. I'm pretty good at gumming. Why charge the manufacturing with intent to deliver a Schedule 1, 2, 3 drug? Oh, they get you for all 3 schedules. Yeah, that's how they get you with marijuana. So stupid. This isn't fair because it was literally for my own personal plans. I know, but they don't care. And they'll make the argument that it's not for that. They'll make the argument that you're distributing. You're a distributor. Heaven forbid, like, that's like going to Costco and saying that you're a distributor. You know what I mean? Like, what? You bought a 4-gallon bottle of vodka? Distributor. No, it's just a good price on vodka, and I'm stocking up for the future. I think that if you're going to get charged with distribution, that your usage should come into play. I think they should have to take a look at that. Because when I was younger, if you would have saw the volume of marijuana I was consuming, you would have thought I was running a distribution ring. And when they raided me, they took all my money. That's how they do it too. They're thieves. They're thieves. That's the real war on drugs. People aren't ready to hear this, but the war on drugs are used to disproportionately affect Black Americans. People of color, really, but mostly Black people are the ones that are getting caught up in that. And to fund other things. Essentially, it's like them taxing the poor like they should tax the rich. The war on drugs is just like veiled racism. But people aren't ready for that. People aren't ready for that conversation. And maybe do treatment, but that's the charge no matter what. It's a blanket and not fair. It sure isn't. It sure is not. Yeah, attack on poor people in general. I'll give you that. I'm not trying to like make it a race issue, Deborah. It's just that when you look at the statistics, yes, poor people in general. But when you break down poverty, it is disproportionately affecting Black people. It just is. And that's not white guilt or whatever you want to call it. That's facts. That's just literally the facts. Look at incarceration. I could speak at length about how incarceration is the new slavery, which doesn't only affect Black people, but again, disproportionately it does. It does. And that's okay to acknowledge that. Guess what? It's okay to acknowledge that. You can also be affected and acknowledge that another group of people has it worse. Because some people have it better than you. Some people have it worse than you. That's literally how life works. It is. It's very sad. Sad is the comment section of some of these like videos and stuff I'm finding now. It's just like, God. It really makes me harken back for the days of John McCain. I miss John McCain so much. Not to get into a big political deal, but if someone said half the crap that you see on the internet to John McCain's face about his running his opponents, he might smack the taste out of your mouth. Not really, because he's nice. He was sweet. If you want a lesson on how to treat your opponent, go watch the video of people calling Obama a terrorist to John McCain. Because no, he cuts a woman off. No, that's not real at all. That's not accurate. He said, this is just a guy. He's a good model American, and I just fundamentally disagree with him on some issues. And that's it. Boom. Conversation over. McCain. God, if only he would have just ran a little earlier. Morning, Aaliyah. Sorry, we're just getting into systemic racism here. Lightly touching on it. As one should. Lightly touch on it, by the way, not racism.
This is Nelson in the Morning on Bluffs Country 106.5.
We're live on the Performance Digital Cam. Facebook.com/Bluffs Country. You can also find it at YouTube, youtube.com/That's Just Nelson. And that's me. You can find me on all social media that way. Watch the YouTube at your own risk, though, because some of those music videos I've made are scantily clad. So if you're afraid of fat, hairy, white guy bodies, maybe that's not the YouTube channel for you. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Earlier, we were talking about a story that came out that said there is now new links to a sugar alcohol erythritol. I'm probably not saying that right. I'm not a scientist. But it's used to supplement foods that want to be sweet without having sweetener added. The sugar alcohol is billed as keto-friendly. It's often mixed with another artificial sweetener like a stevia to just ramp up how sweet things are. And of course, like all things that could be good for you, they are bad for you eventually. And we got into a list of other things that people used to think were healthy for us, like shark cartilage, because they said sharks don't get cancer, so it'll treat your cancer. Or the fact that Bayer used to make heroin cough syrup, or cocaine was in Coca-Cola. These three, though, rarefied air. Rarefied air. The first one sounds crazy, but it was also the 1500s, so you take that with a grain of salt. People used to think mercury would treat syphilis. So they knew about STDs in the 1500s. Now, I don't know if they knew it was just sexually transmitted or however else you get syphilis. That's the only way I've ever heard. So I'm not, unfortunately, completely syphilis educated. Sorry. But a guy named John Hunter was a doctor who claimed to have cured himself of syphilis with mercury. Mercury is the thing that was inside old thermometers. I guess if you're young, you don't even realize that. So the old classic thermometer you put under your tongue and you watch the little red line rise on it, that's mercury. Highly poisonous liquid metal. At room temperature, mercury is melted. This John in the 1500s says he cured himself using syphilis, or cured his syphilis using mercury. Syphilis occurs in 3 phases. This is where science helps, okay? This is why the scientific method is to continue to keep testing things. Because in those 3 phases, there are remission periods that can last between 2 and 3 years. So syphilis is a chronic deal. If you don't treat it fast enough, it will end up destroying your mind. And so this guy was like, hey, look, my syphilis is gone. Come back, Tina. It's time to go. It's not time to go, Tina. He's just in remission. So he thought he was cured. So he gave himself more syphilis. And then ended up dying of a heart attack in an argument. So I don't even know if the mercury, the syphilis, something got that dude, but it wasn't good. There's a list of things that people used to think were healthy. Okay, this was like medical treatment. Radioactive drinks. In the early 1900s, okay, that means like around 100 years ago, people believed that radioactivity was good for you. They had radioactive items, like you would put them like charms, radium pendants for rheumatism, uranium blankets for arthritis, anti-aging radioactive cosmetics, and radioactive water. Radioactive water, they said, became particularly popular when they found radiation in well-known hot springs that people thought had healing properties. This basically is like, oh, we figured out how to find radiation. Now let's go find it everywhere. It must be great. You remember it killed Marie Curie, right? The one who discovered the radiation? Okay, maybe not. Thinking radiation was natural in water, the drinks were marketed to the public. Eben Byers, a well-known industrialist at the time, claimed to drink 3 bottles of radioactive water a day. And his death inspired the 1932 Wall Street Journal headline, "The radium water worked fine until his jaw came off." Like, what? But this one takes the cake. Because I believe a lot of people have heard this term before, but I don't think you've really taken any time out of your day to think about why, where, and when they used it. But lobotomy used to be a valid mental illness treatment to doctors. First performed in the 1890s. Okay, so lobotomy is 130 years old. The procedure was thought to be a cure for mental illness. During its popularity in the 40s and 50s, like World War II is going on and we are shoving needles into people's heads. The idea, if you don't know what a transorbital lobotomy is you know when you look in the mirror and you're looking at your eyeball, right? And then in the corner there, right in the tear duct, there's that just pink little circle there. That's just like eye skull meat that holds your eye in place. They take a long, thin ice pick looking thing. Think like a skewer for a piece of corn on the cob or something to put on a rotisserie. And then they slide it past your eye, through the part of your skull where your optic nerve goes, and then they just back and forth, they scrape it around and they tear up the front of your brain with a needle. The ice pick lobotomy is what it is essentially called. And once they reach the brain, they move it back and forth and they destroy neural pathways. And a Kennedy had this done to her. Rosemary Kennedy, born 1918, died January 7th, 2005, and never talked again after they cured her. She had an intellectual disability. And this is why it upsets me, because I have a child with delays, and I can only imagine what atrocities were committed in the name of science when it came to this back in the day. Disgusting that they would do this for mental handicap. In her early years, Rosemary Kennedy was increasingly irritable and difficult. I don't know, autism maybe? Or any other litany of mental delays? Oh, this really gets me upset. I didn't think I was going to get as mad as I was after I read it. I've already read it once or twice. I know this story. So, John F. Kennedy's sister sat in an operating room, and her father had a lobotomy performed on her in 1941 when she was 23. Permanently incapacitated and rendered her unable to speak intelligibly for the rest of her life. She just stayed at St. Coletta, an institution in Jefferson, Wisconsin. And the truth about her situation and whereabouts was kept secret for decades. Because why would the Kennedys want you to know that they shoved a needle in their daughter's brain? So look, not everything is sugar alcohol is going to hurt your heart, all right? So I'll take a sugar alcohol over a transorbital lobotomy every day. I hope you learned something today.
Did you know you can take Bluffs Country everywhere with the Bluffs Country app? Whether you have an Android or Apple phone, the Bluffs Country app is available in the App Store or Google Play. Just download it and you're set. Listen.
Oh, that makes me upset. I didn't realize I was going to get so damn mad. Live lobotomy. Thank you. I needed that. I really needed that. How the military uses. Oh, for sure. The military has been testing on their own people for years. Like how I miss Jimmy Carter. Also, just a friendly reminder that Reagan was definitely the main cause of why our economy sucks now. Oh, yeah. Reaganomics, all of it. Yes. But racism exists in all forms now, whether people think so or not. The Kennedy curse is faux show real payback for what their dad did to poor Rosemary. It has to be, right? I didn't even think about that. Bobby, John, even John Jr. Did Rosemary Kennedy outlast John Jr.? Let me think. I think John Jr. might have died in the 90s. When was that plane crash? 1999. Don't ever question me. Don't ever question me. Rosemary Kennedy outlasted John Kennedy Jr. Disgusting what they did to Rosemary Kennedy. Yeah, 1999. I think going into the gas chamber with no mask, losing all control of your functions could not have been good. I was like being on drugs. And I get what they're saying. Like their answer for that is, well, the enemy's going to do this to you, so we have to do it to you so you're ready for it. No, you don't. No, you do not. You do not have to do that to me to make sure I'm ready for it. It's all part of that systematic deprogramming that they have to do. Oh, I know. I saw all the shots, the immunity boosters and everything else. How many shots we got and they didn't tell us what they were. That's crazy. That is crazy. Also, Rosemary Kennedy, the eldest of the Kennedys. Like Joseph Kennedy was rich at a time like when people weren't rich. Like Joseph Kennedy was like a Bill Gates rich now back then. You know, it's got to have dollars adjusted for inflation, but and I don't know what they do in the military now. I'm just speaking of my experience in 1988. It hasn't gotten much better. Better at hiding it, I suppose. Yeah, the Kennedys. The story of the Kennedys is very great. It's amazing. So the generation, the father, the patriarch to the Kennedy family, he started in a middle class family in Boston. but then just diversified. He was in banking, stock trading, producing movies. He sold liquor. And the genius of the Kennedy family is that Joseph Kennedy got out before the stock market crashed. So while everyone else is poor, poorer than they've ever been, the Kennedys got richer during the Great Depression. Joe Kennedy's money may have had unsavory sources as well. He is rumored to have imported liquor during Prohibition, working with mobsters in that industry. He later sold his legitimate liquor importing business to a no-mobster named Abner Longies William. Joe Kennedy never publicly revealed his wealth, but the New York Times estimated his net worth at $500 million when he died in 1969. So, 500 69 adjusted for inflation. See what that means. That's not as rich as I thought. He's only a billionaire. 4 billion. 4 billion today is 500 million in 1969. Joe's always says to me, well, that's why they say that John died. It was because of mob ties. They think that that was one of the theories that JFK was killed by the mob. Because the mob supposedly put Kennedy in power. Because the mob went to all these major, sites, Chicago and stuff like that, so that it swung the electoral college vote by having dead people vote. That's when the blinders came off and I learned how our government covers up anything they can. Lost all trust in the government. Grew up quick and just not quick enough. You're right. Isn't that the case for a lot of veterans? That y'all grew up, but you didn't grow up quick enough to realize what the hell was happening to you. Sad. Sad, sad, sad. It's now we little now. Well, on a very happy note, I gotta go cook for my sweet babies. All right, Deborah, you go cook for those sweet old babies. You go cook for those sweet babies. What the hell happened to this finger? Jesus Christ. When did I cut myself? You ever do that? You ever look down and you just got cuts? Where do these cuts come from? No cuts, no butts, no coconuts. Good morning. Bingo Boss. I'm going to start calling him that. Bingo Boss Wes. Chuck Denver, I love you. I just love Chuck Denver so much. Oh, right. Oh, God dang. Like, what did I even do? I'm trying to think how I could have even cut myself, though. That's now we let the little talk. That's Wes. Wes is doing that. Okay. All righty. We're going to have to shut the cams down just a hair early today, so I apologize. My apologies. But after this segment, we're going to shut it down for a weekend. If you're in Council Bluffs, or you can be, come out to Bayless Park tonight from 4:30 or 5:30 on. 5:30 is when it's going to happen.
What's that you check?
I like that Bailey Zimmerman a lot. Excuse me.
This is Nelson in the Morning on Bluffs Country 106.5.
Man, wouldn't it be nice to just turn this 2-day weekend into like a 4-day weekend? Just extend it. Have some fun. This last blush with summer. Because listen, we're about to get into the full swing of the fall here before you know it. So we have decided we're going to get you a big old ticket blowout today. We want to get you in to see Thomas Rhett or Brett Young at the Iowa State Fair. The fair actually started up yesterday. 11 days, the fair. It'll run through Sunday of next week, but for the most part, it ends Saturday. Like, there's just stuff that's still going to be open. Thrillville, Thrill Town, and Thrill Zone. Now, normally it would cost you money to get in. Then it's going to cost you money to get the tickets to the show, right? Well, not with us. No. Bring your own sealed bottle of water. Make sure you come down to Bayless Park tonight at 5:30. In Bayless Park, we are going to be getting you tickets. Tickets. It's a big old ticket blowout. We decided to do it this afternoon. We decided to do it at 5:30. So you got time to get done with work. Sure, you can kick out of work early. I won't tell. Listen, if you need me to tell your boss we're having the event at 4:30 so that you can get out of work early and then you can go relax, maybe have yourself a little happy hour cocktail or whatever, happy hour 6-pack of chicken nuggets, and then come on out to Bayless Park at 5:30 and be there even a little early, I'll write the doctor's note, baby. I got you. 5:30 today, though, there's a big old pile of tickets, both to Brett Young and to Thomas Rhett. When they're gone, they're gone. A blowout's going to get blown at some point. It's going to be all the way out. So get in as we start I don't know what a blowout noise is. To me, a blowout noise is, it's your turn, right? And then you hand the baby over. That's not that kind of blowout. It's a ticket blowout at 5:30 today, Bayless Park. You are not going to want to miss it. If you want to get in, if you want to see the butter cow, if you want to have an opportunity to try a lobster corn dog and not pay for, well, you got to pay for the corn dog, but not to pay to get into the Iowa State Fair. 84 new foods, 47 new drinks, and you and your favorite person with you to go see Brett Young or Thomas Rhett. We're going to do it at 5:30. 5:30 today in Bayless Park. And, as we're getting ready for that, why don't we just do a quick check of your weather for the Metro? I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. If you, like me, live under a rock and you wait till I tell you the weather, 75 is all the high is going to be today. And by 5:30, we're going to be right around that like 72, that perfect crisp 72 degree mark. No precipitation in the forecast. Partly cloudy and cool the next couple of days. Highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s. Again, today, the high of 75. Currently, 58 degrees. Could you have imagined 58 degrees at 8:30 even 2 days ago, let alone on Monday? Awesome. This look at your weather brought to you by O'Cookios. Experience O'Cookios, a unique blend of soft cake donut and crispy cookie edges that are the ultimate gluten-free, high-protein, locally created cookie donut. Made inside the Hoff at the Kitchen Council in Council Bluffs and delivered right to your doorstep. That's service with a smile, a tasty one at that. They accept PayPal and Venmo, and you can order online at ocookios.com.
No matter where you are in the world, there's always a place for great country music. Bluffs Country.
All right, like I said, guys, I got to shut down the camp just a little bit early today, so I will see you at 4:30. And thank you so much for making it another successful week.